Same old story. Starting about on his own. What are we going to do with you, Simon?
I'm on my way from misery to happiness today.
So Sean from Orkney has been very kind and put together a compilation of some more footage of Simon and explained a little bit about Simon and how he came to be Simon. For anyone that hasn't seen the video, here's a little recap.
It's going to become a habit, I think. Here's Simon, other end of the field again. Simon, the f*** are you doing up here? Your mum's other end again? Can you not stay in one piece? My f***, she's some mother. Look him go. Go on, Simon, go and get a feed. Oh, he's not there yet. He'll get there. Takes him a minute. He's too excited. I think he's been away. Ah, there he goes, bite. Look at that. Never seen anything like that in my life. Some boy with Simon. Come on then, Simon. Let's get you out of here. There he goes. Go on, Simon. Way happy Simon. Okay guys, you're not gonna believe it, but there's Simon's mum looking for Simon again. So it looks like the nightly hunt for Simon McGinn's. This would look very much like Simon here. Hey dude! Hey Simon! What are you doing? You lost again. Let's go find Mum. Hey, hey! Here's Mum. On you go, Simon. That's her. Oh yeah, there he goes. Some boy, Simon. Every day's an adventure for Simon, like, he just really doesn't give a f***. Just goes to his own thing, waits for me to come at night, stick him back on the tit. Job's good. Some boy, Simon.
So here is the next part of the story. Just bear in mind, Sean obviously hasn't done as many of these things as I have, and he actually does a really good job of speaking on camera. It's not a comfortable thing for most farmers, so he does a good job. Remember, if you like the channel, click the subscribe button. If you like what Sean has to say here, give him a thumbs up. He's also got a question looking for a name for Simon's sister, so feel free to drop it in the comments and I'm sure he'll pick one out. Cheers.
Well, good morning sheep fans. I am absolutely blown away by the response what Pity Lamb Simon's received. I'm really glad wee Simon's brought so much humour and fun to folk this last wee while in these kind of dire times, but I thought it'd only be right to kind of keep a little video diary going of Simon's progress, just to keep you all informed really, because I'm sure a lot of you have unanswered questions and who Simon's getting on, what have you. I'd like to introduce you to somebody that's been played a crucial part in the whole Simon saga. And this is my wee dog Tess. She's some lass, she's by my side every day, and she's pieced Simon back together every night with me. Just like to say, Tess is a bit of an unsung hero in the whole carry on. Me and Tess actually put our heads together the other night. We're both thinking we could both see that Simon's mother's at her wit's end with him. So we thought it would only be right to get Simon, have a wee sit down with him, have a wee talk to him, see where the problems lie, and see if we can now get him to behave himself. So yeah, we get along that idea anyway. We got Simon doing, and I said me piece, and then I handed it over to Tess to say her piece. But it turns out Simon's a bit of a chauvinist, and he wasn't going to be spoken to by a woman like that. And then what I didn't realise too, Tess is a bit of a feminist, and there's no way she was going to be spoken to by a man like that. I'm not joking when I say the whole thing turned into some pantomime, and she was some carry on. But I did my best to mediate the situation, and I think I got the whole thing calmed down. I think we maybe got through to him, but what Simon doesn't realise is it'll not be Tess that's in the doghouse, it'll be Simon. But I come to you with some decent news tonight anyway. So here comes the good news, guys. This is first time in 2 weeks Simon is right by his mother's side. No, you stay there, you're doing well. I'm absolutely over the moon. It looks as though after our talk last night we've gotten through to him, he's realised what he needs to do, reining it in. No longer can he come stottering back to his mum every night. You know, it's unacceptable. So, well done, Simon. Okay, guys, but bad news today. After thinking Simon had kind of started to behave himself, it looks like he's fallen off the wagon again, and he's back to his old ways of gallivanting, so we're gonna have to go and have a look for him again. Here he is, same old story, starting about on his own. What are we gonna do with you, Simon? Whew. So what I'm decided to do with Simon is take him in, we'll give him a smaller field, smaller perimeters. I think Simon will be fine, but gotta tell you, he's the son of the devil. His mum here took some catching. The sister was pretty nippy too. Tess, you're just buggered, eh? But between the two of us, we caught the trio, and it's on to another stage of Simon's life. I reckon this is going to suit Simon a lot better. Reined in his perimeters, call it rehab for Simon almost. It's probably what I should have done in the first place, but if I was being honest, I just didn't have much hope for Simon, and I certainly didn't think he was going to be such a loose cannon. But easy to keep an eye on here, close to the house, small field. I reckon this'll either make or break Simon. So this is day 3 of Simon being in his new accommodation. You could say in a more kind of teen him for the kind of bright lights, big city. It was just proving too much temptation for Simon. He's in a more kind of rural, settled kind of area, new, less temptation. I kind of, after catching his mother, the free spirit comes for her. Like, she's a wild one, so it's in the genes. As you can see, Simon is thriving like a mushroom. Some pair of lambs were like, it's looking good. Looking good. I still remember when Simon was born, my father lambed him. He was doing a night shift here at the time, and he told me he did this lamb. He did a hell of a job getting him the lamb, because as you can see, the way Simon goes with his head in the air, when his mother was giving birth to him, he was acting the same way, and going with that head in the air and the front legs first was just a nightmare for trying to get through the pelvis. So he's been like this for day one, and he was kind of passed on to me then to watch him, make sure he suits and that. The morning after that, he gets up getting a colostrum and that. We kind of persisted with him. Yeah, Simon, he soon learned where it was, and he gave up with the pain. And like I say, he stuck out on this original field there. He'd been in 3 or 4 days. We were kind of thinking, you know, this might be a bit of a lost cause. There's no way Simon's gonna survive in the big bad world, but he's fit and healthy now, and like I say, he's settled in this new environment well. I'm absolutely delighted with him, but I see a bit of some of the haters in the comments and that, they're saying there's things wrong with Simon and things like that, but Simon did have slightly weepy eyes. I'm not really sure what it was. It's just an infection of some kind, but yeah, Simon's blind, there's no doubt about that, but it's no inturned eyelids and things like that. I've had that checked, and the weepy eyes, since he came to his new home here, I've been putting like just a wee drop of penicillin in his eyes each night, just kind of almost acting like an eye drop, and as you can see, he's marvellous. So, but yeah, there's health wise, there's nothing wrong with Simon. Simon is just he's a pure dafty. Like he's just one of those special kind of people. He's sitting here peaceful now, but him and Tess is also made up. I'm delighted about that. Tess, yeah, you're okay with him now, and that's Duke in the background. He's not been introduced, but he's a team player here too. But that's everything from me and Simon just now. So there's Simon and his sister. As you can see, they're thriving like bloody mushrooms. The sister even more so. She's a complete beezer, like. Not sure what to call her. I can leave up to you guys to call her something, whatever you like. She would need a name. But yeah, so there's Simon. Everything's good with Simon.